Hey guys, it's me again. As I said in the previous video before, I'm going to do a Pez Advice video. I don't know if that really makes sense to any of you, but it's just basically how to collect your Pez and make it worth more and all that good stuff. So, for starters, I'm going to talk about Pez packaging. I brought in a double that I have in a different package and some of my new ones, which you've seen in that previous video if you watched that. But some of their packaging is very different. For example, they're just different. And for me, how I set up my Pez or decide whether I should open it or not, or keep it in the packaging, is if it is in this sort of package, which Ariel so happens to be in, I'm definitely going to open it because I don't really have anywhere to put this, because if I hang it on a tack, it'll just rip right through it. I don't know, I just prefer to open these ones than these ones. And it was I had packagings like these that I would open, and then I looked it up and I was like, is it worth more if you keep it in the packaging? Because like some of the packaging, as you can see, has like little characters with the person. I'll show you another one. See, it has the characters, and like it's not just a Pez, just normal like let's say that pattern for a background. So I think that makes it more expensive, or not more expensive, but worth more than it would go for in just a plain opening like this. Also, again with the big Pez, I'm also starting to keep them in the boxes. I did take this one out because I was super excited for it, and I have 5 big Pez and I wanted to just fit them all on a shelf. But I am going to start keeping them in the boxes if I get more of those ones. Another way is, if you want your collection to grow, I would probably suggest not trading your Pez or selling them. Unless you have doubles, then sure, go for it. But I would just keep your collection to yourself, don't trade with anybody. I don't know what else to say. I guess this wasn't a big advice thing as I thought it would be. I also, if you want to display them instead of just randomly having them singly on shelves, if you want them displayed, I would suggest getting display cases, or, sorry, do they even have display cases for like, I know they have stands, which I did make in a previous video. If you're interested in those, again, they are on eBay. The person hand makes them, so I would suggest, I don't really know how it works, but mine are 6 rows. I almost just went like that. But mine have 6 rows. I don't know how many stands I have. They shipped within 5 days or something. Actually, probably less than, or more than that, because they're handmade, so it takes them some time. Also, another way of how I keep these like on display is I just hang them up on my wall with tacks. I put the tacks here, like in that hole, so it will kind of like fall. If you see my Pez videos, you can see that, unless I don't show it very well. And I put one at the bottom right there too, just so it won't flap around or anything. That sounds really good. And then how I set it up is I set it up into pairs type of things. Like, let's say my strawberry shortcake characters, if I were to open them, they would go together. They wouldn't go away from each other. That would probably make sense to you. that's just how I do it, I guess. Also, if you're just starting collecting your Pez, I would suggest getting a Pez book. I don't have it with me. That was stupid of me because I didn't think I would suggest it. But I think I've shown it in videos. It's just a book about Pez and how much they're worth. And I would suggest, if you go antiquing like I do or to flea markets, I would suggest looking for Pez there, because a lot of the times the people that are selling them don't realize how much they're worth and only sell them for $1. Like what happened to me, I got 2 Pez that are worth $50 to $75, and I bought them for $1. So, but going back to that subject, make sure you look for no-footed ones, if that makes sense. The feet are this little round thing. I should have bought my one that doesn't have feet, but I didn't. But you can understand what no feet means. It just has that little, doesn't have this part right here. So those are definitely worth more. Do get a Pez book and then bring it everywhere with you. I keep mine in my purse, just in case I run into something. And a lot of the times I find Pez dispensers that are beat up or not in good shape. Like I found one at the antique store. It was an Angel, had no feet. It was worth $4,000, but it was beat up and it was gross and like it was just moldy looking. So don't get that, even though it's probably worth more. But that's when it's in good condition. So don't get that. Yeah. Also when I'm shopping with my mom for Pez, she'll see like a NASCAR one, or like the trucks, if you know what I'm talking about, and she'll be like, oh, you don't want those. And it's like, if you want to make your Pez collection grow, especially if you're a boy and like maybe you get this one or like Ariel or something, or you see it and you don't have that yet, but your mom or your dad is saying that's too girly, I would get it anyway if you want your collection to grow and maybe be worth something, because it's not a collection if you don't have every Pez, right? Well, it's not, that makes no sense, but you are hopefully understanding what I'm saying. So yes, I don't think it really matters if you keep the candies. Doesn't matter. I mean, I keep it just for decoration. Like if I'm putting them on the shelves, I keep it for decoration or something like that. But yes. Also, I guess organizing it is only your choice. I mean, whatever. They do have, I've seen on eBay, they have a stand for Pez with no feet. I want to look into that, but I only have 2 no-footed ones. So if you want your collection to look like a museum full of Pez, then I would suggest getting display cases, displays, hang them on your wall, all that junk, because that's what I'm going to turn my room into, hopefully. Yeah. And plus, being a Pez collector is hard at times because a lot of places don't sell Pez anymore. I don't know how long these Pez have been around for, but they've been around for long enough that they're not as frequent anymore. So, and it is hard too when you have a big collection like mine, or let's say I have over 300 now. So it's hard when you're looking for Pez and all you see is doubles. But there's just, because I go to this antique mall and it has like a box this big of Pez and like, I don't know. But most of them are doubles that I have, which is really depressing. Yeah. If you guys also have any other questions for me about anything, because I can't really come up with things on the spot, just let me know. Yeah, I don't know what else to say to you. Okay, so that was my Pez advice video. I hope you enjoyed that. I will try to do a little more detailed on my wall stuff, how I hang them up. I'm also doing posters of Pez. Like I have a shirt on my wall that says Pez strawberry candy on it. I'm trying to do that, just turning my room into a whole Pez candy theme thing. So yes, there's also, I would look up like Pez museums if you want to get an idea of the display cases or all that stuff. There's one in like Connecticut, I believe. I don't remember. Connecticut, something like that. But yeah, check that out. There is a Pez website if you guys don't know. It's just www.pez.com. I will put it in the link below. Yeah, so ask me Pez questions or anything you really need to know about Pez or my Pez collection. I hope that advice really worked for you. I don't know. I think the big thing is just keep your stuff in your packaging because it is worth a lot. But what I'm trying to do is fill my display stands up, so again, if they're in that weird packaging that Ariel was in, I would suggest opening it. But yeah, so that was it. Thanks for watching. I hope that was helpful. It probably wasn't, but whatever. I felt like doing one.